Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are all about cracking the code of the Millionaire Mindset. This is by Gerry Robert. You sent in a podcast episode. Okay, wait. So this is summarizing the book, which is like a deep dive within a deep dive. I love it. So buckle up because we're about to unpack some seriously powerful ideas about, wealth and success.
I think what's interesting here is we're not just diving into budgeting tips or investment strategies. This is about exploring the underlying beliefs and thought patterns,
Yeah.
That can either hold us back or propel us forward financially. It's about understanding that wealth. It starts in the mind.
Totally. It's like before we even open our wallets, we need to check in with our mental operating system, right?
Yeah.
And to understand this better, we need to talk about Gerry Robert himself. He's not just an author who's spouting theories. This guy walked the walk. He went from poverty to prosperity. That makes his insights way more compelling.
It does. Yeah. It's one thing to read about financial success, but it's quite another to learn from someone who's actually lived it, that personal journey.
Yeah.
That gives Robert's teachings a level of authenticity that's hard to find.
Okay. So let's get into this whole millionaire mindset thing. One of the core concepts that really jumped out at me is the financial thermostat. It's like this. We all have these subconscious limits on how much wealth we believe we deserve. The podcast episode used the example of someone who feels they're only worth, say, $50,000 a year. And they might actually sabotage themselves from earning more without even realizing it. Has that ever happened to you? Have you noticed patterns in your own financial goals, like hitting a certain income level and then plateauing?
It's a powerful concept, isn't it? We often operate within these self-imposed boundaries without even being aware of them. Think of it like an invisible fence for our finances. If our internal thermostat is set at a certain level, we're going to struggle to break past that point. This suggests that before we can truly achieve financial success, we need to examine and maybe even reprogram our financial thermostat.
That's fascinating. It's like we're upgrading the software of our minds to handle larger sums of money.
Exactly. And speaking of upgrading our mental software, let's talk about visualization. Robert suggests that visualization isn't just positive thinking. It's like mental conditioning for success. It's about training your mind to attract wealth, not just wish for it. And the book actually provides some pretty intriguing techniques to make visualization work.
Right. It's more than just daydreaming. One specific technique that caught my eye is called future scripting. Have you ever heard of this?
I have. It's a powerful tool, essentially. You write about achieving your financial goal as if it's already happened. You get super detailed, describing your dream house, your successful business, everything down to the emotions you're feeling as a result of this success. It's almost like writing a journal entry from 5 years in the future.
Oh, that's wild. I can see how putting those images and emotions into words could really solidify your vision and make it feel more attainable.
It's like planting seeds in your subconscious mind. Think of Olympic athletes who use visualization to rehearse their winning performance before a big competition. They're mentally preparing themselves for success. And it often translates into real-world results. Why couldn't we apply that same principle to our financial goals?
Okay, so we've got our mental thermostat dialed up. We're visualizing our success. But how do we bridge the gap between those mental exercises and actual tangible action? That's where stretch goals come in, right? This idea of aiming beyond what feels comfortable, what might even seem impossible at first.
Precisely. Robert suggests that by setting these ambitious targets, we're forcing ourselves to grow, to expand our belief in what we can achieve. It's like we're saying, hey, maybe my limits aren't as fixed as I thought they were.
That's so empowering. But honestly, setting stretch goals can be kind of scary. There's this element of risk and the possibility of failure. And when it comes to finances, failure is something we're often conditioned to avoid at all costs.
Absolutely. Most people see risk as something to be feared. But Robert challenges that perspective. He argues that those who achieve extraordinary financial success are often the ones who are willing to embrace calculated risks. They understand that failure is a part of the process, and it's not something to be ashamed of.
That's such an important point. It's not about being reckless, but about accepting that setbacks are going to happen. In fact, they can be some of our most valuable learning experiences.
There's a saying I love. Failure is simply an opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. And it's interesting. There's actual research to back this up. Did you know that entrepreneurs who have experienced failure are actually more likely to succeed in the long run?
No way! Really? Tell me more.
Turns out that the experience of failing, picking yourself up, and trying again It teaches you resilience, adaptability,
Hmm.
and a deeper understanding of the market. It hones your instincts and makes you a savvier entrepreneur.
Okay, that's inspiring. I used to be terrified of making financial mistakes, but now, thanks to you, I see those potential failures as valuable stepping stones. So we're rewiring our beliefs about risk. We're setting ambitious goals, but what does that actually look like in our day-to-day lives? I mean, how do we build this millionaire mindset into our daily routines?
That's where Robert's daily habits come in. These aren't about complex investment strategies or anything like that. They're simple, yet powerful. You have the practices to reinforce this millionaire mindset.
Yeah.
And honestly, they can make a huge difference.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the first habit? Spill the tea.
First up is gratitude. And I'm not just talking about saying thank you before you dig into your avocado toast, although that's always a good idea. It's about actively focusing on what you already have, appreciating the good things in your life. It's about cultivating an abundance mindset instead of dwelling on what you lack.
Okay, I get it. It's like instead of focusing on that fancy car I don't have yet, I should appreciate my reliable, if slightly dented.
Still
Sorry.
half right. Because at least I have transportation, and that's a privilege.
Exactly. And there's a fascinating psychological aspect to gratitude. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can actually rewire your brain, leading to increased happiness, better sleep, and even stronger immune systems.
Wow, I had no idea. It had such a profound impact. So gratitude is habit number one. What's next on the list? Next up is visualization. Again, but this time, it's about setting aside a few minutes each day to truly immerse yourself in your goals. Close your eyes. Picture yourself living that dream life you scripted. Feel the emotions, the sense of accomplishment, the freedom.
I used to think visualization was a bit woo-woo, but the more I learn about it, the more I'm convinced there's real power in it. It's like we're pre-paving the neural pathways to success, right?
Exactly. Think of it like this. Every time you visualize your goal, you're strengthening the connection between that desire and your subconscious mind. You're essentially telling your brain, this is important to me. Pay attention to this. And over time, your brain starts to prioritize those goals, making it more likely that you'll take actions to achieve them.
All right, so we've got gratitude and visualization down. What's the third daily habit that Robert emphasizes?
This one's all about the company you keep. Robert stresses the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people, those who lift you up, inspire you, and support your dreams. But let's face it, negativity and self-doubt can be contagious. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are complaining,
Yeah.
gossiping, or just generally bringing down the vibe, it's going to be tough to maintain a millionaire mindset.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's so true. I used to hang out with a group of friends who were always talking about their financial struggles, their dead-end jobs, and how unfair life was. And I found myself getting sucked into that vortex of negativity.
It's natural. We're social creatures, and our environments have a huge impact on our thoughts and behaviors. But the good news is we have the power to choose our environments. We can choose to surround ourselves with people who are positive, ambitious,
Ah,
and supportive.
you know what? That's a game changer. It's not about ditching our old friends, but about being more intentional about the company we keep and the energy we allow into our lives.
Precisely. And it's not just about avoiding negativity. It's about actively seeking out people who inspire you, who are living the kind of life you want to live. Their energy, their mindset, their habits will rub off on you. And it's amazing how contagious success can be.
Okay, so we've got these three powerful daily habits: gratitude, visualization, and surrounding ourselves with the right people. But I gotta know, does this millionaire mindset stuff actually work? Are there real-life examples of people who have transformed their lives using these principles?
Absolutely. Ira shares tons of inspiring stories in the book. One that really resonated with me was about a single mother who started with absolutely nothing. No education, no support system, no money. But she was determined to create a better life for herself and her kids. She started practicing gratitude, visualizing her success, and connecting with other entrepreneurial women. And guess what?
She hit the jackpot. She won the lottery. Tell me she manifested a winning scratch ticket.
Even better, she built a successful business from scratch. She started small, selling homemade crafts online, and gradually grew it into a thriving e-commerce empire. She didn't win the lottery. She created her own fortune, one step at a time, fueled by a powerful mindset shift.
See? That's what I'm talking about. It's not about luck or privilege. It's about taking control of your own destiny, believing in yourself, and taking consistent action.
These stories remind us that financial success isn't limited to those born into wealth or with exceptional talent. It's about cultivating the right mindset and being willing to put in the work.
I love that. It's about that sense of possibility, that anyone can achieve financial abundance with the right mindset. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the millionaire mindset, what's the one key takeaway you'd like to leave our listener with?
If I had to choose one, it would be this. Challenge your limiting beliefs. We all have them, those insidious little voices whispering doubts and fears in our ears. But what if we chose to question those voices? What if we dared to believe in a bigger, bolder vision for our financial lives?
That's such a powerful thought. It's like we're giving ourselves permission to dream bigger, to aim higher. So, to our listener out there, what's one limiting belief you could challenge today to start shifting your financial thermostat? Maybe it's, I'm not good with money, or wealth is only for the lucky few. Whatever that belief is, try questioning it, flipping it on its head. You might be surprised at the possibilities that open up when you do.
It's like we're breaking free from those invisible chains that have been holding us back. And that's really what the millionaire mindset is all about, empowering ourselves to create the financial future we desire.
And it's not about obsessing over every penny or turning into some kind of money-hungry monster.
Right.
It's about aligning our mindset with abundance,
Right.
with possibility.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that wealth isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about freedom,
Yeah.
security, and having the resources to live a life that's aligned with our values.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground today. From rewiring our financial thermostats and mastering the art of visualization, to setting audacious stretch goals and embracing those inevitable setbacks. It's a lot to take in, but I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
We have, and that's the beauty of this journey. There's always more to learn, more to explore, more to achieve.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into the millionaire mindset, is there one final nugget of wisdom you'd like to share with our listeners, something to really make them think?
I would say this. Don't wait for permission to be wealthy. Society often sends us these subtle messages that wealth is reserved for a select few, that we need to follow a certain path, climb a certain ladder to reach financial success. But the truth is, wealth is available to anyone who is willing to cultivate the right mindset and take consistent action.
Wow, I love that. Don't wait for permission to be wealthy. That's going on my vision board for sure. So, to our listener out there, here's your challenge. What's one action you can take today, however small, to start embodying this millionaire mindset? Maybe it's setting a financial goal, reading a book about investing, or simply practicing gratitude for the abundance you already have in your life. The journey to financial freedom starts with a single step. Take it.
And remember, this isn't about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about creating a life of abundance, however that looks for you. It's about designing a life you love, a life where money is a tool for empowerment, not a source of stress.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the millionaire mindset. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those wallets growing.